running out, health officials fear that they may not reach their target. This is Sunday Express, but as is tradition, before we prime you, the day's highlights. Inferno at Lari Boys. School closed indefinitely after a student rampage led to the torching of property. Let's give dialogue a chance. Raila Odinga's call for a public discourse receives the backing of leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza administration. And threads of hope. See how a stitch in time saves 9 at the heart of the Mathare slums. Many thanks for choosing KBC Channel 1 to inform you this Sunday night. I'm Doreen. Arange. Byron Abule is our sign language interpreter holding down the fort for my colleagues Regina Manyara and John Jacob Curia. And now we begin this live broadcast with some sad news, and that is the passing of former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari. And that was announced by his former spokesperson, that is Garba Shehu, in a post on social media where he announced the passing of the former Nigerian president who died at a clinic in London at the age of 82. Before his passing, Muhammadu had served in various capacity, among them as the Nigerian president between 2013 and that was for 2 terms, and that was between 2015, 2015 to 2023. And also he goes down in political history as the first politician to take power. That is the first opposition candidate to defeat a sitting president. Messages of condolences continue to trickle in. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And now to their day's stories. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki says the Kenya Kwanza administration is keen to deliver on their promises to Kenyans and will not be swayed into politics. He spoke in Kiambu County, while presiding over the Economic Empowerment Program. This as National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula called for an end to violent demonstrations.
Kiamba constituency in Kiambu County on Sunday hosted Deputy President-led Economic Empowerment Program. Professor Kindiki slamming the opposition leaders for engaging in early campaigns rather than serving Kenyans.
Tunataka kusukuma KMTC ya Kiamba ikamilike. Tunataka kusukuma ile polytechnic hapa TTI ya Wangunyi ikamilike. Tunataka hizo barabara Mheshimiwa Kawanjiko ameomba tuongeze ijengwe. Ama namna gani? Lakini wakati wa kampeni kifika tuingie kiwanja, kila mtu atoe rekodi yake. Kwa sababu hakuna mtu hajakuwa kiongozi. Kila mtu atuambie siku ile alikuwa kiongozi, nini alileta hapa Kiamba.
In Meru County, Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula, who was accompanied by Meru Governor Isaac Mutuma, among others, urged Kenyans to shun violent demonstrations, adding that President William Ruto should be given credit for various development projects since he came into office.
Tayari nimetumia President message kwamba hapa kweli mambo ya amani ndiyo kipaumbele. Kama ni kuongeza police station, ama police post, ama police reserve, ama ni nini, as long as it is people driven, na nyinyi wenyewe muna embrace ya kwamba this is how to create peace.
This as Cabinet Secretary for Public Service Geoffrey Ruku called on the IEPCA to put in place all necessary regulations to conduct the pending by-elections across the country and the 2027 general elections.
Tunaambia chairman wa IEPCA juu sasa katika ofisi na commissioners, jameni, wekeni mipango sawasawa, kujitayarisha mapema, registering new voters kuhakikisha IEPC iko sawasawa.
In Rongo, Migori County, leaders allied to Kenya Kwanza, led by the leader of the Majority Assembly in the National Assembly, Kimani Ichung'wah, urged both the government and the opposition leaders to engage in closed-door talks to address the country's mounting challenges.
Ili tukemee shetani, yule shetani wa chuki, yule shetani wa ukabila, yule shetani wa uchochezi, yule shetani analetea watu mambo ya uharibifu wa mali na maisha ya Wakenya.
Elsewhere, a section of Western Kenya lawmakers, including Caleb Amisi of Saboti and Jack Wamboka of Bumula, among others, criticized Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi leadership in the region, saying it was time for change.
Tumeona maeneo yetu ya magharibi imebaki nyuma kwa miaka mingi kwa sababu tumeweka watu goigoi mbele yetu.
Give us in Maina, Sunday Express.
And our investigations are underway in Lari sub-county to unravel the circumstances that led to a fire outbreak at the Lari Boys High School in Kiambu County. The school was closed indefinitely on Sunday following the fire incident that reduced several properties to ashes. Sources say the fire broke out after a dispute erupted between the students and the management over entertainment.
This was the aftermath of the night fire at the Lari Boys High School. Charred beds, broken classroom windows and property running into millions of shillings were razed to the ground. This forced the school management to close the school indefinitely, sending students back home.
Tumeambiwa tuende indefinitely, tubebe vilago vyetu ndiposa unaona sisi iko na magondolo, hii maboxes. Na pengine mambo yatakuwa sawa tukiendea wakati mwingine. Sijui ni lini.
Sources indicate that the students were angered after being denied musical instruments during the night, prompting the unrest.
Kuna mashine walikuwa wanahitaji kuitumia. Sasa mkubwa alikuwa anambia hawa nitakuja kuwatolea jana kama jana. Sasa wakati aliona bado hajakuja kutoa. Sasa wakati walimaliza kukula sapa wakaingia kwa klasi, wakati alirudi huko. Sasa ndio wakasema
Area residents responded to the alarm but were unable to access the institution after the students reportedly turned hostile and pelted them with stones.
Sisi tumekasirika sana kama community. Juu wasasi wetu wamejenga hii shule sana. Ilikuwa day school. Now that it is a boarding school, ndio tunashuhudia haya mambo.
Fortunately, no fatalities were reported, but few students who sustained minor injuries were rushed to hospital and have since been discharged. By this morning, parents had thronged the school to pick up their children who spent the whole night in the cold. Mariambo reporting for Sunday Express.
DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua and People's Liberation Party leader Mathare graced a Kikuyu music festival dubbed Ngemi, held in Seattle in United States of America. The two leaders danced and rejoiced with the Kenyans in the diaspora, even as they shared the vision of the united opposition to change the leadership of Kenya. The two also said the united opposition will back one presidential candidate in the 2027 general elections to achieve their ambition.
Tuko vyama vingi na tuko watu wengi. Kila mtu anatamani kupeperusha nini? Bendera. Kwa hivyo ukiona Mathare ujue ana matumaini ya kuwa the sixth. Mesikia hiyo? Ya kukomboa Kenya. Kazi yetu is to unite and liberate. Lakini muhimu sana, unity of purpose. Hakuna chama moja au mtu moja ataweza komboa Kenya bila wenzake na bila Wakenya wenzake. So unity is very important na tuweke Kenya mbele ya matumaini yetu.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations officers in Meru County have arrested 3 suspects in connection with looting and arson of the Maguna supermarket in Makutano Shopping Center in Meru town during the Sabasaba Day demonstrations. The 3, Ian Mugambi, Abdulatif Murithi and Teddy Kaimenyi, were captured on CCTV footage looting the supermarket before setting it ablaze.
These are the debris of Maguna's supermarket at Makutano Shopping Center in Meru County, which was looted and later set ablaze by a group of protesters during the Sabasaba protest. Investigations launched by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations have brought into custody 3 suspects, Ian Mugambi, Abdulatif Murithi and Teddy Kaimenyi, who were captured on CCTV. Detectives also alleged that the trio was involved in a break-ins and theft at Club 7-Eleven Lounge and Salileti Supermarket during the same wave of unrest within Meru town. They also confirmed the recovery of a dark green motorcycle registration number KMGN839F believed to have been used during the attacks. The suspects are currently in custody at the North Imenti police station awaiting arraignment as the hunt for more suspects involved in the act continues. Kasicho Damasha, Sunday Express.
10 minutes past the top of the hour, due for our first break. We circle back with plenty more, including sports. Stay put.
The Ministry of Health is conducting a typhoid and measles rubella vaccination campaign in all the 47 counties from 5th to 14th July 2025. The typhoid vaccine will be administered to children aged 9 months to 14 years. The measles rubella vaccine will be administered to children aged 9 months to 5 years. These vaccines are safe, effective, and available free of charge at all health facilities, schools, markets, and places of worship near you. Typhoid is a serious disease that spreads through contaminated food and water. Maintain safe water and sanitation even after receiving the typhoid vaccine. Measles is highly contagious. It can cause severe complications and even death. Vaccination against measles offers the best protection against the disease. Let's protect our children from typhoid and measles rubella. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in collaboration with UNICEF and the World Health Organization.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kenya.
Wake up with Good Morning Kenya, the morning show that's got it all. We dive deep into issues shaping our country.
Youth are a voice of a nation.
What is the next step for the young people?
Unpacking political landscape from Monday to Wednesday.
We discuss family matters.
It is very important to guard your relationship.
And for your health.
Someone doesn't wake up and they become an addict. It's in stages.
We've got you covered each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about The Viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good Morning Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good Morning Kenya. Every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still on Sunday Express. We continue to inform you. Now, the residents of Lala Village in Homa Bay County are calling on the Kenya Wildlife Service to take urgent action to tame the wild animals after a leopard killed 8 sheep belonging to residents of the area. The residents say the animals strayed from a nearby Ruma National Park. Meanwhile, 200 families of the victims of the human-wildlife conflict in Narok County have received a compensation of 69 million Kenyan shillings from the government.
The residents of Lala Village in Homa Bay County are living in fear after a leopard attacked and killed 8 sheep belonging to one Apollo Otieno.
8 of my sheep have been killed, all of them are dead. One has been eaten from the chest, and the organs have also been eaten.
The residents say the animals strayed from the nearby Ruma National Park and are urging the Kenya Wildlife Service to take an urgent action to tame the wild animals to ensure their safety.
We are worried here as a community. Our security is at risk. Very many people are walking around here. Their lives are at risk. They can be attacked anytime, because this one here is just a case that don't normally happen, and very many people do not know. So we fear so much. It can attack anybody who is walking.
2 weeks earlier, one of Otieno's guard dogs was dragged away and devoured by a wild animal near a neighboring home. Meanwhile, 200 families of the victims of human-wildlife conflict in Narok County have received a compensation of 69 million shillings from the government. Narok Deputy Governor Tamalinye Koech and the Director of Policy and Strategy in the State Department of Wildlife, Richard Chepkwony, stated that 20 million shillings will be disbursed by the end of the month, calling on the beneficiaries to ensure honesty and transparency.
23 million plus 70 million plus 69 ambayo tunapewa leo, tunapata pesa ambayo ni 180 million. Na hiyo inaonyesha watu wamekuwa wakifuatilia, wale watu wanapata shida kutokana na wanyama wale tuko na wao hapa Masai Mara. Hapo mbeleni tumetoka tukilipa compensation. Tunawaya pesa kwa account ambayo mlipeana. Hiyo account watu wanapokea pesa, wananyamaza, wengine hata familia mzee anapata pesa, anabii mama kwamba pesa ililipwa ya compensation, anakula pesa, siku ile pesa inaisha, mama anakuja kwa ofisi anasema mnafuata compensation, na bure mzee alibaliza pesa kitambo.
Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
Now, imagine a promising future cut short by tragedy and poverty. That is the story of Samuel Kithuku Kinyanjui, a 21-year-old bright student from Daraka village in Juja, whose dreams of becoming an aeronautical engineer now hung in the balance. A series of misfortunes has pushed Samuel to the brink, forcing his family to make a desperate appeal for help.
Sounds of chicken clucking is what welcomes you to the home of Samuel Kithuku Kinyanjui in Daracha village, Juja, Kiambu County. While the chicken feed, Kithuku's family is lost in thoughts. A once hopeful student now battles despair. He was a top performer in his KCSE exams, where he attained a mean grade of A- and once envisioned himself soaring in the skies as an aeronautical engineer.
Na nikaitwa campus, nikajoin East African School of Aviation kufanya course inaitwa aeronautical engineering. Lakini wakati niliitwa huko, pesa zilikosekana za kujoin. Nikakaa mwaka moja na miezi mbili kama sijapata fees.
Their home perhaps painting a picture of the struggle that grounded his dreams after high school. At some point, villagers pooled resources to help him enroll at the East Africa School of Aviation. But just as his future began to take shape, tragedy struck.
Nipata mkasa wa moto na watoto wetu wawili walichomekea huku.
Vile ilifanyika, ilituma nisiweze kuendelea na masomo. Ile tamu moja nilikuwa nimebakisha nimalize mwaka, nikarudi shule, nikafanya my NEC exam, na kutoka hapo pesa zikakosekana.
What followed has been months of emotional struggle, deepening depression and repeated suicidal thoughts, signs of a young man slowly breaking under the weight of lost opportunity.
Nimelose hope. Unaona hata kazi yenyewe haipatikani. Sometimes hata nyumba kulipa ni ngumu. Maybe chakula ndio tu inapatikana. Nikaona mwezi wa 9 uko karibu kufika na sijapata school fee. Nikakufa moyo na nikaona hata naweza jitoa uhai.
Help has been hard to come by. Still, the family describes Samuel as resilient, humble and determined, and now appealing to well-wishers to come to his rescue.
Saidia na sisi ili aweze kuendelea na masomo yake. Juu tumelemewa mahali tumefika.
Na mimi nimekuwa katika hali ya kuomba hata watu pesa kidogo kidogo, lakini hiyo njia imekuwa haiendelei. So tunaweza omba kama uko mahali pale, unaweza saidia huyu kijana.
Well-wishers can channel their support via M-Pesa phone number 0703138572 or through Equity Bank account number 15201835753554 under the account name Samuel Kithuku Kinyanjui. In Samuel's story lies the cry of many young Kenyans with big dreams but limited means. A little help could be the difference between a life lost in despair and one that takes flight.
Wrangles have rocked African Independent Pentecostal Church of Africa, AIPCA, in Kayole, Nairobi County, where a section of members is accusing the church leadership of financial mismanagement and clinging to power without holding elections. The group wants the current leadership disbanded and a fresh audit conducted. They further claim their attempts to seek police intervention have failed and are threatening to keep the church closed until their demands are met. There was confusion at the AIPCA church in Kayole following its sudden closure by a section of congregants protesting alleged mismanagement by church leadership. Led by one Francis Mbishi, the group accused the current leadership of embezzling church funds and overstaying in office.
Kuwa na mambo ya shida ya uongozi hapa. Watu kukula pesa ya kanisa na kukaa kwa uongozi na hakuna uchaguzi.
Kitu tunataka tu kwa chachi yetu ni mabadiliko ya uongozi.
The group says they have tried to seek police intervention, but their efforts have borne no fruit.
Kuna mtu anatusikiza. Tumejaribu kufuata sheria tuende mpaka kule juu, mahali viongozi wakubwa wako. Hakuna mtu ametusikiza. Tutafunga kanisa mpaka siku ile watakuja wenyewe.
The aggrieved members are calling for the disbandment of the current leadership.
But before uchaguzi ifanywe, kuwe na caretaker committee. Ndio hizi pesa zimepotea zote, za basi, za parking, za nini, sijulikane zilienda wapi.
As the standoff continues, worshippers at AIPCA Church are left in limbo, unsure when normal services will resume. Bunge la Mwananchi Nairobi now claims the recent resignation of 2 Director Generals for road agencies is a ploy to avoid being held accountable for misdeeds in the agencies. The political caucus led by Francia Awino now wants investigative agencies to probe the management of funds at the Ministry of Roads and Transport. The activists made the remarks a day after Kongundungu and Philemon Kandia resigned from Directors General of Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA, and the Kenya Rural Roads Authority, KERA.
We are deeply concerned as Bunge la Mwananchi by recent cases where officers under investigation have tendered their resignation as a tactical move to avoid the judicial process. This undermines our institutions, erodes public confidence, and sends a dangerous message that justice is optional.
We are going to move anti-corruption court. Washike mali ya wanaume wote, hawa wanaume wawili. Hadi hizo petition mbili because nimewashtaki at their own capacity. I will make sure kuwa rights za Wakenya zimeangaziwa.
The disease that is actually sabotaging the future of the young people, the future of Kenya, is sabotaged by corruption.
And that story I had mentioned earlier, where the Ministry of Health has enlisted the support of religious bodies and school in intensifying efforts to ensure every eligible child receives the typhoid, measles and rubella vaccines. As Leila Sadiq found out in Marsabit County, the target set may not be realized with barely a day to the end of the campaign.
The clock is fast ticking to the Monday's 14 July deadline for completion of the 10 days national vaccination campaign against measles and typhoid. Here in Marsabit, health workers are rushing against time to ensure every child aged between 9 months and 14 years gets the typhoid jab, and those aged between 9 months and 5 years are vaccinated against measles.
It has been found that there's a lot of issue with typhoid, especially children who always complain of stomach. And before this, we usually do widow test, which is not satisfactory. But after the cultures which has been done, maybe in Nairobi and other areas, it has been found that most of the children are suffering from typhoid. Thus, this one brought about this activity.
The decentralization of vaccination services down to the schools, madrasas and churches will ensure millions of children are protected from life-threatening measles, rubella and TB diseases.
Tulikubaliana kwamba wakati itafanywa launching siku ya kwanza tutaanza na madrasa. Kumbuka ilikuwa ni siku ya weekend na madrasa zinapatikana Jumamosi na Jumapili.
Kanisa inabeba watu wengi. Na unakuta kama siku ya Jumapili makanisa unakuta watoto wametengenezewa madrasa yao. So unakuta kuna mkusanyiko wa watoto mahali ambapo tunaweza kuwafikia kwa umoja.
Schools have not been left out either, and here at Fountain Gate Academy, a sensitized parent arrived keen to ensure her children receive these essential vaccines.
Toka kwangu kwenda hospitali kuu ya Marsabit ni mbali kidogo na ninatumia my own means kufika huko. Sasa kwa vile hii chanjo imeletwa shuleni, nikaona sasa mambo imefanywa rahisi.
Myths and disinformation about the vaccines has been addressed.
This vaccine will boost immunity of our children, both for MR and typhoid and also other routine vaccination.
Unatakiwa upeleke mtoto yako. Kwa hivyo ukichelewa leo, mara nyingine itakuwa ngumu kupatikana kwa sababu iko na kipindi fulani imewekwa.
Inasaidia watoto wetu. Na ukienda huko ushago tayari malaria nini, typhoid hizi zote imeanza. Watoto wakipata sindano hii watakuwa afadhali na wanapona vizuri.
Daki is determined to ensure her children aren't left behind.
Hizi chanjo ni kama zile chanjo tu watoto wetu wanapata wakati wanapozaliwa pale hospitalini siku ya kwanza na kuendelea hadi miezi 9. Haina tofauti. Pengine serikali imeona umuhimu wa watoto kupata chanjo. Kwa hivyo haina haja sisi kukataa kupata chanjo.
The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says vaccines prevent over 4 million child mortality cases annually in Marsabit County. Only 40% of the 200,000 children targeted for vaccination had been covered by the end of the week.
In Marsabit County, we have very few teams due to resource challenges. These teams cannot be able to move to everywhere that we want these children to be vaccinated. So the challenges are there, but as a county, we try our best to dispatch our team to all the counties and ensure that a good supervision is done so that we get a good number of these children to be vaccinated.
These challenges risk making the target unattainable, even with the initiative of taking the services closer to the people.
Muda ule ambao tumepewa ambao is not enough, bado hatujafikisha ile target ambao serikali iko inataka tufike. Langu ni kusema ya kwamba kama vile kanisa imehusishwa tuongezewe muda kidogo.
For KBC Channel 1, my name is Leila Swadik.
Thank you for that report, Leila. And now, growing up in Mathare, where opportunities are few and hope are distant, not many youth find a way to break free from the cycle of hardship. For Lilian Adhiambo, however, the sewing machine was her key to unlocking a better life, not just for her, but for those around her too. With every stitch, she not only makes clothes, but also builds a bridge to a brighter future.
In a neighborhood where opportunity is scarce, Lilian Adhiambo saw possibility.
Huko ndio nilianzia maisha, alafu pia nilionelea ni vizuri niweke kazi yangu karibu na kule ambapo naishi.
Her journey with fashion began in 2013, fueled by nothing more than passion and a borrowed sewing machine.
Sikuanza hapa, nilianza kwingine, lakini leo hii nashukuru Mungu nimefika hapa. At least naweza ita hapa mahali pangu pa kazi.
Leonardo fashions caters to a wide range of clients, from Nairobi artists and professionals to neighbors right next door.
Unajua kuna wale baadhi ya wafanyikazi wenye wanafanya kazi kwa kampuni. Unajua orders kama hizo ukipata unapata kazi kubwa mara moja. So mimi target watu kama hao. Ama wale ambao kwa serikali.
But for Lillian, this is more than a business. It's a calling. Before fashion, Lillian walked a different path, but her heart kept pulling her back to the machine.
Niliishi kupenda tu toka utotoni mwangu. Niliishi kupenda kazi ya fashion and design. Kutoka tu nilikuwa mtoto juu. Sasa nikiwa tuseme class 2-3 nilikuwa naweza kutengeneza vitu kwa mkono, tuseme like earrings, manguo tudogo. So personally kutoka utotoni mwangu nimekuwa nikipenda hii kazi.
Behind her brand is a woman balancing many roles.
I'm married with 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. Nimeajiri watu wote wako hapa, nimewaajiri na machine operators, kuna wale wa mikono, na hii kazi inawasaidia sana.
Nifanya hii kazi na experience hizi, hata nikiamua saizi nifunge kazi niko na experience.
She has also nurtured several careers and earned respect from her clients.
Always okay with the, how they do their work. I feel nikitembea nasikia tu niko sawa because of the work they are doing.
With the power of social media, her brand is no longer confined to the Mathare's borders.
Nimechukua pictures na Instagram ama WhatsApp status ama hiyo Facebook, na huwa inanisaidia sana because by doing that unapata kuna watu wanakupigia, nimeona hii ni wewe umetengeneza huko wapi. Imenisaidia sana by the way.
A simple sewing machine to many, it's just a tool, but here in Mathare it's a beacon, a second chance, a dream stitched into reality. Julia Sogina, KBC Channel 1, Nairobi.
Thank you, Julia Sogina, for that report. Tourism CS Rebecca Miano has urged students of Kamba Secondary School to put greater effort to their education, describing it as the greatest equalizer in society. This and other stories in the County News Roundup.
A bold 5-year campaign to inspire 1 million families across Kenya to read together by 2030 has been launched in Nairobi.
Reading opens up your mind. Reading enables you to see what is possible. Through reading, I was able personally to see worlds and geographies that I never imagined of.
And Kenya Cardiac Society President Dr. Bernard Samia has encouraged cardiologists to adopt emerging technologies to enhance efficiency and the quality of healthcare services.
We need to be culturally sensitive, gender sensitive, age sensitive. So we usually have the honors to digest and see what kind of technologies and artificial intelligence mechanisms we can be able to apply.
Meanwhile, residents of the Kililana area in Lamu County under the Kililana Farmers Association are accusing the national government of grabbing and evicting them from their ancestral land to put up development projects.
Nikifika shamba na mjomba wangu mwenyewe unisaidia, nikifika shamba bibi ameshakufa na amepewa nyumba imemwangukia, watoto wamekufa, bibi mwenyewe amekufa. Ni haki kwa serikali? Si haki.
Finally, Bureti National Polytechnic in Kericho County has officially rolled out the ISO 2025 standard a global benchmark for educational organization management systems.
I announce our recent accreditation as the qualifications awarding institution by the Kenya National Qualifications Authority, KNQA. These recognitions therefore empowers us to, 1, develop and award nationally recognized qualifications under the Kenya National Qualifications Framework.
Time for your sporting action, and Team Kenya for the Africa Under-18 and 20 Athletics Championship was kitted ahead of tomorrow's night departure in Abeokuta in Nigeria for the 3rd edition of the continental event to be held between the 16th and 20th of this month. The team of 47 athletes has been in a residential training camp in Kasarani for the past 3 weeks.
The Kenyan Under-18 and Under-20 team heading to Nigeria received motivation from two-time 100-meter Africa and Commonwealth champion Fernando Manyala and former captain of the 2016 Under-20 Athletics Championships, Moffat Ngare, ahead of their trip tomorrow night.
We're well prepared kwenda Nigeria. Last Africa niliendanga championship ya Africa 2023. Genda kuwa position 3 nikaleta bronze, and this year na focus Mungu anisaidie nilete gold medal.
The team of 47 athletes has been in a residential training camp in Kasarani for the past 3 weeks in preparation for the continental assignment.
I don't expect any issues concerning age problems. We have done a very good job as a federation to make sure that those who are going to compete are with the right ages and there will not be any issue. The equipment, especially the spikes, were brought yesterday from the US, Nike support, and of course any other material support they require, they are receiving today, and the allowances has already been given by Athletes Kenya.
Vile coaches walikuja hapa wametusaidia juu many athletes hapa vile tulikata timu wengi wao kwa najua kama kuset block, but vile coaches wamekuja hapa at least tunaona kwa sprints tukana very much improvement, na hata mtu akitoka hapa anajua anasema kutoka ningie team nime make improvement na najua tutaweza kuleta good medals kutoka Nigeria.
Kenya under head coach Robert Ngisrei finished 3rd in both categories during the 2023 edition in Ndola, Zambia.
I can see that this team is very, very strong and excited, and we are always optimistic of each team that goes out that they can do better than the other one. So I'm happy that this one I can tell you that they're going to do much better than Zambia.
Timu yangu tumetrain vizuri na tujapata any indiscipline cases. Kila mtu alikuwa discipline na kila mtu alikuwa focus na kazi yake na kitu yenye alikuja hapa. Hakuna mwenye tumepata na indiscipline cases. Na wote wako focus, wanatarajia waenda walete medals.
Kenya finished with 14 medals, 6 gold, 2 silver and 6 bronze medals in the under-20 category, while the under-18s team scooped 19 medals, 6 gold, 7 silver and 6 bronze medals.
The national rugby team, the Simbas, saw their hopes of qualifying for the Rugby World Cup dashed after a narrow 29-23 loss to defending champion Zimbabwe in the semi-finals of Rugby Africa Cup held at Mandela National Stadium in Kampala, Uganda. Zimbabwe will now face Namibia in the final. Namibia secured their place in the championship match after defeating Algeria 21-7 in the first semi-final. Simbas, coached by Jerome Parwota, had qualified for the semi-finals by overcoming Uganda Cranes 32-24, while Zimbabwe advanced after a commanding 43-8 victory over Morocco in the quarterfinals. Both Kenya and Zimbabwe have won the Rugby Africa Cup twice. Kenya in 2011 and 2013 and Zimbabwe in 2012 and 2024. The winner of the final will earn a direct qualification spot for the 2027 Rugby World Cup, scheduled to take place in Australia from 1st October to 13th November 2027.
Look at the anxiety among the Kenyan fans there in anticipation of something from this moving mall. But then
try time, Kenya.
For the Kenyans. Wow, that is quite a quick reaction.
He has lost to Uganda a couple of times because Liam Walker did punish him and put him on the losing end.
And that was a fantastic kick. Split the post. It's 8-8.
They don't count the halftime break because then you wouldn't be back anyway.
Yeah.
So they'll big. So a little bit of fortuitous, a little there for them. They have 10 minutes. As McNabb tries to get the chicken wing, and Chow, he is a quick man, and if there's nobody there, he is going to find his way.
Wow. And Kenya, right at the stroke of halftime, get the try in.
Kubu.
And he splits the post. Right. And he's 18.
Pick it up. You should be thinking one thing.
Hosts Morocco and Zambia sailed through to the quarterfinals of the Women Africa Cup of Nations thanks to a vital 1-0 win on match day 3 of the continental tournament in Morocco. Zambia scrapped a 1-0 win over DRC to qualify on equal 7 points, with Morocco who struggled to secure a 1-0 win over Senegal.
Lofted over the top, there was quick movement, lovely touch, and a chance for a goal. Oh, it's just gone wide for Shifak. If ever there was...
Yasmin Mrabet accurately converted a penalty in the dying minutes of the first half to hand Morocco a vital 1-0 win over Senegal at the Olympic Stadium in Rabat, as the hosts secured their place in the last 8 of the Women Africa Cup of Nations.
This past week alone. Banda stands over it, leaves it. Striker goal from Kundananji, who opens the scoring for Zambia.
They qualified top of Group A but on equal 7 points with second-placed Zambia, who also qualified on a same scoreline against DRC. Rachel Kundananji scored the lone goal for Zambia in the 9th minute of the game at the El Bashir Mohammedia Stadium. The final Group B matches will be played tonight. Nigeria, who have already qualified, will play second-placed Algeria at the Lari Boys Stadium, kicking off at the same time with a game at the Pierre Ejego Stadium between bottom sides Tunisia and Botswana. KBC Channel 1 continues to televise the matches live.
Banda at the back post, if she can be found. Striker goal! The whistle goes. Zambia have beaten the Democrats.
Joseph Mwenda emerged the overall winner of one-day Kenya Veterinary Association Golf Championship held at the Vet Club Sports Club. He won the overall title ahead of Paul Okoth and Eda Wangui, who were the other best performers of the competition.
Joseph Mwenda had the best golf day as he won the overall prize of the Kenya Veterinary Association Golf Championship with a total of 41 points. He narrowly edged Paul Okoth, who won the men's title, while Eda Wangui was the best lady in the competition with 39 points.
We are gathered here also to interact. Besides advancing our interest as a profession, we want to interact and with our partners, including the government, the companies that are producing medicines, the animal advocacy organizations. And so these are a good day for us. We play golf and also we interact and network.
Abeka Ocheng took the seniors title while Prince Moreno bagged the junior title.
The veterinary officers in the public sector need to be paid what befits the work that they do and the potential the livestock subsector has to improve the economic growth of the country. So that is one. But additionally, the veterinary interns are earning a very small fee compared to, again, the other healthcare professionals. So there are 5 years of training in school, and even the risks that they face in the field and the amount of work they do in the field does not befit the 27,000 shillings that they are earning.
Edwin Gishuki was the guest winner, while James Githumbi took home the sponsor's title.
Livestock X is a digital livestock trading platform, first of its kind in Kenya, and our aim is to increase the value of livestock, drive profitability in the sector, and increase market access to both farmers and traders. It is a platform where we aim to solve a number of problems for each of the different stakeholders. If it's a farmer, they can be able to sell their livestock and also manage their livestock. If it's a trader, they get a bigger access to a market as well as the farmer, and they can be able to choose the products that they want.
Mahesh Haria was the best player in the special category, while Vanessa Cherono had the best effort title in her hands.
We're urging the government to proceed swiftly to move the animal health bill through Parliament so that we have a current act that takes care of the current issues in the profession and in the animal resources industry as soon as possible. We also urge the government to move with speed and also process the animal welfare and protection bill through Parliament. This bill has been pending for so many years. And we also urge the government to also look at the veterinary practice and veterinary medicinal products bill, because these bills will guarantee food safety, they will guarantee the economic growth of the country, but they will also guarantee human health. Because remember, if you address animal health, you're also indirectly and even directly addressing human health.
The one-day tournament was organized to mark the 58th anniversary of the Kenya Veterinary Association.
Iga Swiatek won her maiden Wimbledon title as she inflicted the heaviest women's final defeat on Amanda Anisimova at the All England club in more than a century. Both players were appearing in their first Wimbledon final, and Poland's Swiatek stormed a 6-love victory over the American in just 57 minutes to win a 6th Grand Slam title. No woman had won a Wimbledon final without dropping a game since Dorothea Lambert-Chambers did it in 1911.
It's too good. And Swiatek, one game away. Cancer the match, Swiatek. Sets the love, 6-love, 6-love. Iga conquers the grass and becomes a Wimbledon champion. Now she's got her hands on the Venus Rosewater dish. First presented in 1886.
All right, and tonight we have to exit early to pave way for the ongoing WAFCON taking place in Morocco, and the game coming in a few minutes is Nigeria versus Algeria. What perhaps you're seeing on your screen there, just preparation ahead of this particular game. This is where to keep it at KBC Channel 1 for all the action. This has been KBC Sunday Express. I'm Doreen Arange. Byron Abuli has been our sign language interpreter. Good night.
Habari muhimu ni zile zinazoathiri maisha yako, na zinapojiri tuko hapo.
Tunakuletea habari zinazojiri nchini na kimataifa.
Hakuna kabila ambayo iko hapa Kenya kwa malipo ya mwingine.
Mambo ya matibabu isiwe starehe ya watu wa dosi.
Tunakufahamisha kila wakati ili uwe tayari kwa yajayo.
We will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Katika ulimwengu unaosonga kwa kasi, usahihi wa habari